Hello everybody, Mrunderlay here, and today I shall be wrecking my £700 mini ITX build for March 2014. Like I said last on my previous video for February, I would plan on doing a micro ATX mini ITX build, and this is what it is. And £700, you can get a really good system for £700. This would be able, probably from the benchmarks I had a little look over, this would be able to run any game you want at 1080p. Anyone, even on the highest settings. Only one probably wouldn't be able to run the highest settings would be Crysis 3, because that's very graphically intensive. But 1080p you're going to sail through. 1600p you're even going to sail through. It'll work for dual monitors, triple monitors, whatever you want. Even then you'll still get these high settings. So let's get started with the build. To start off, I recommend an Intel Core i5-4570. This is clocked to 3.2 GHz and it's a quad-core CPU. This performs probably the second best out of any processor when it comes to money, from Intel anyways, because I would never recommend i7s for gaming only builds, because you don't see any boost in performance. If you do, it's negligible, so it's not much point to that. I didn't recommend the K series because this is a lot cheaper and you have to pay quite a bit of a premium just to have the ability to overclock. So I thought this is perfect for this kind of build. Next up, for the motherboard, I recommended the MSI H81i Mini ITX motherboard. This is a pretty well received motherboard. It's pretty cheap as well. It does support it has two SATA 3GB per second SATA 2 slots, as well as two for SATA 3, so that's good to have. And it does have on board USB 3.0 headers, so again, if you want that. And it does only support a max memory of up to 16GB, but that's the case with any mini ITX build, as you'll see why. What I've done to accommodate that. But yeah, this is just, it'll get the job done, no problem, and it does wherever you want it to, really. For the memory, I recommended some Corsair Vengeance low profile 1 stick of 8GB DDR3 1600 MHz memory. That's why to go with a mini ITX build is to have just a single stick of 8 gig if you can, because there's not a massive performance increase if you use dual channel memory. That's having two memory sticks in parallel to each other. There's not a huge boost of performance, and plus with this, if you need to upgrade later in the future, all you need to do is slot in the stick in rather than have to remove two of your sticks just to put the next two in. So it's much easier just doing this, and I recommend it like that. For storage, I recommended the Seagate Barracuda 2TB internal hard drive. Now, some people probably would have went with an SSD, which is understandable, but this was on an amazingly cheap deal, and I think there's no SSD that's really going to give you a lot of performance or size even that's going to be anywhere near that price range. So it's better just have 2TB. Because you're going to be able to install anything you want on there without a problem. And I always recommend Seagate because they're the hard drives I've got and they perform very well. Video card, I went with the PNY GeForce GTX 770 2GB of GDDR5 video card. This is a very good card. It's one of the best cards you can actually get. I've never really heard of PNY, but apparently they're a very good rated company after looking at some reviews. So this is going to be no problem. Running, like I said, anything you want. Just stuff in any game you want and you can have no problems with it whatsoever. So this is going to run very well. It does have comes with one HDMI port, one standard display port, a DVI dual link port and a DVI-D dual link port. And it does support all the way up to 3-way SLI, but you're not going to need it in an ITX build. That's better for larger builds because you're not really going to get two. I don't know if you can get two PCI Express 16 slots in an ITX motherboard, but you can't, this one doesn't support, so that's not a problem though. That alone is easily enough. Power supply, I recommend the Corsair CX 500 watt semi-modular power supply. 500 watt apparently should run fine for this build. I thought it might take 600 watt, but apparently 500 watt's no problem whatsoever. So I thought, okay, that's fair enough, and it does cheap down. And it's from Corsair, and they're a very reliable brand to use. I wouldn't recommend probably anyone anywhere close when it comes to the power supply department, if you can call it a department. And finally, for next we have the optical drive. Again, not really needed, but I put it in anyways. This was a LG GH24N SBO. Well, I don't really have anything to say about it. It's just an optical drive. What do you really expect? Let's move on from that, shall we? And let's go on to the case. Now, I would never recommend a case as much as this one, and that is the Corsair 250D. This is a really new case. It only came out a few months ago. It does include in it 2 hard drive HDD supports, as well as 2 SSD supports, so you can always put SSDs in here. It does come with USB 3.0 on the front panel, and a lot of people recommended this case, and I can see why after looking through it. It looks perfect for any mini ITX build that you want. So anyway, that sums it all up. That's a gaming PC for £700. Like this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, and as always, just anything in the comments if you want me to recommend a build, just let me know. So anyway, see you later.